All right. So just finding a nice seat here. Let me go ahead and just peek down at your feet. So knees approximately over your ankles. Of course, if you do like that variation where you either have a block between your feet or strap a block between your thighs, you're welcome to do that if that feels good to you today and that's something that you want to try. Otherwise, you're good just being where you're at. And then you make the choice here. Do you want to, you can sit back in the chair a little bit here to start out. If you want to come forward on your sit bones, start to work into the core a little bit. Sometimes that feels nice. Let's roll our shoulders back. Ooh. Get some of those cricks out of the way. I think maybe it's worse when it's really cold here in Colorado. We're going to blame it on that, or Monday. And then we'll roll forward. Good. And then back again. And then just go ahead and let the shoulder blades release down your back. Feel this openness, this lift of your chest as you root down into your sit bones. So these opposite things happening, kind of anchor down, but then we get this nice stretch up. Hello, Tammy. And then close your eyes if they're not already. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, let the breath go, ha. And then just do that a few more times. So you're sighing out the to-do list. You're sighing out anything that might be stressing you out at the moment. There's always lots going on. And you're really just setting the intention that you're going to start to check in, pay attention. You're going to pay attention to your body, to your breath, to your headspace. You're going to start to notice little things and you're going to make little changes. And just notice if setting that intention causes you to shift how you're feeling in your body. Perhaps it introduces a sense of ease. So even though there is this effort sitting here in this Sukhasana, we don't want to be working in places that we don't need to. We want to feel that softening of our shoulders, that lengthening of the back of the neck. And then we start to find the steady, even rhythm of our breath. So inhaling through our nose and exhaling through our nose. And you are more than welcome to explore your Ujjayi breath if you would like that. So that victorious breath. So as we're inhaling, you're constricting the sides of your throat a little bit. So you get that sound when you're like fogging a mirror with your breath, a little bit of that Darth Vader sound or ocean waves. And then you find that same constriction as you're exhaling. So for many of us, this breath just becomes this really beautiful tool to help quiet and focus the mind. When we're doing this Ujjayi breath too, it also has the added benefit of building some heat inside our body, which is really lovely as we begin to move. So just here, soaking up the quiet for another moment or two. When your attention wanders, you simply come back to your breath. You might have to do that often. Some days this is easier than others. As we practice this though, as we get better, we start to string more and more of these quiet, still moments together. Good. And then let's bring our palms together at our heart and let's just start clasped with an Om together if you feel like joining in. So we'll just do one Om. So you can gently tuck your chin a little bit here. Nice deep inhale. Maybe bow your head with a smile. Good. Release your hands by your side. Blink your eyes open. And before we move into our Robin's breath, let's just do some just real basic cat-cow here. So hands on thighs or knees. As you inhale, you start to rock forward on your sit bones. So you're bending in your lower back. Elbows squeeze in, sternum stretches up. As you exhale, you go in that opposite direction. So you rock to the back of your sit bones, let the back of the neck lengthen and release down. And it even feels like you're pulling your belly button to those back ribs. Inhaling, arching. Exhaling, rounding in. And sometimes it can feel really nice to close your eyes here. And maybe you just take your mind's eye to your spine. Notice what's going on today. How are things feeling? Really listening to this breath and just noticing the calming quality that happens as we begin to move with the breath here. So for a lot of us, these little vinyasas, this movement with the breath actually helps us to still the mind a little bit, as opposed to just being in a static pose, holding. Maybe play with slowing your breath down. So that might be especially nice if you're feeling a little anxious today. Conversely, maybe play with stretching your breath out. So that's really nice. No, speeding your breath up if you're feeling a little lethargic, a little tired. Good, let's do a few more. And already, so it doesn't take much effort at all. We already start to find some space in our bodies. This is why just doing a little yoga for even just a few minutes a day can feel so good, kind of shift how we're feeling. The hardest part is just doing it. And then go ahead and come back to that nice tall seat. See your mountain pose, shoulders over sit bones, lengthening through the sides of your waist. Go ahead and bring your palms together at your heart. All right, so just adding on here, as you inhale, take your arms out wide. So you come into that cow stretch, so you're getting into your lumbar. As you exhale, round in, palms press in front of you potentially. Let the back of the neck release. Inhaling, pulling hands together at heart. Taking an exhale here. Inhale. Reach back. It's like you're going to give somebody a giant bear hug. As you exhale, dive in. And then let's do it a little different this time. Inhale, take your arms out wide again. And this is just going to flow a little better, I think. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhale, opening up wide. Exhale, rounding in. Inhale. And then exhale, palms together at your heart. Let's do it that first way again. And so we're just kind of noticing how if we tweak things a little bit, how does it feel different for us? Inhale, reaching. Exhale, dive in. And then you can keep palms together. As you inhale, you pull hands to heart center. You take an exhale here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dive forward. Good. Inhale, pulling palms to heart center. Full, complete exhale. And then let's go back to the other way. So as you inhale, open up. Exhale, round in. Inhale, open up again. Good. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Good. Inhaling, reaching. Exhale, dive in. Inhale, stretch out nice and wide. Beautiful. As you exhale, palms come together at your heart, sitting nice and tall, shoulders balanced over your sit bones. Close your eyes. Taking a couple of breaths here. So those Robin's breath, really nice too. It kind of gently opens up the shoulders, which feels really good. Let's go ahead and release our arms by our side, and let's just start to move a little bit side to side. So reaching down through those right fingertips, pressing into your sit bones. Inhale, left arm reaches up and over. As you exhale, release down. Inhaling, right arm reaches up and over. Gorgeous. As you exhale, release. And then again, you're just going to start to move with your breath. So if your pace is a little different than mine today, that's okay. You're getting curious about how this feels. So these lateral side stretches are really nice. They can be quite intense sometimes. So it's kind of nice to move it a little bit before we come into the hold. And just soaking up that sound of your breath. These look really good. And as much as possible, you're trying to root down evenly into your sit bones. So that sit bone of the arm that's reaching up and over, it's going to get a little lighter. That's okay. All right, so the next time your left arm is reaching up and over, let's hold there. And you are more than welcome to hold on to chair. You can just energetically reach your fingertips down. Feel this left shoulder blade release down your back and kind of squeeze in towards the midline a little bit. And then this eye of the elbow, you're going to spin it to face behind you. So you're getting a little internal rotation. It feels like you're going to spin your palm to face behind you. And then let's start to look towards that right shoulder. So a little opposite of what we usually do. And then maybe even tuck your chin a little bit. So you're going to get a stretch on the right side of the neck. And then perhaps keeping that chin tucked, you start to bring your gaze forward and then maybe up underneath that top arm. And that arm that is lifted, if it gets tired and you need to take a little break, you can just bring your hands to your hip. That's absolutely fine. You're still getting all of this stretching. And in fact, let's all do that, just because I think it feels a little different in your neck. So go ahead and bring your left fingertips to your left hip and then squeeze that elbow in and start to look towards that shoulder. So you can almost start to look a little deeper than when that arm is extended. Good. As you exhale, come to center, reach through those left fingers. Right arm comes up and over. And we hold here a few breaths. You can be holding on to something. You can just energetically be releasing down through that left arm. Feels like you're spinning this outer arm towards the inner arm. So the eye of the elbow spins behind you. And then start to bring your gaze down towards your left shoulder. How does that feel in your body? I think it's pretty intense. And if you need to just release your right hand down to your right hip, you can do that. Otherwise, you can keep that top arm extended up. Then slowly keep chin tucked. Move more towards center. Maybe looking up underneath that top arm. And then let's go ahead and just bring our right fingertips to our hips. Squeeze that elbow in. And then maybe you can twist the neck like a hair more. But you're listening to your body. That might not feel good. So we want yoga to feel good. So we never do the things that might compromise that. I think some people don't want yoga to feel good. There's some really intense yogis out there where it's all about how many chaturangas they can do. Chaturanga is a push-up. They can have them. All right, so exhale. Come back to center and just notice how you feel here. And let's go ahead and release the chin towards the chest. And it's always really hard to let the back of the neck go. It can be such an intense stretch. I remember when I was new to yoga, I just thought it was awful, these forward fold moves. It was incredible to me how much tension was back there. But as we do this more and more, it gets easier. We start to find some ease, some length. And then observe if your shoulders start to creep up around your ears. Mine just did. So again, just releasing them down, and arms releasing by your side sometimes can help to encourage that action. Keep chin tucked. We begin to bring our right ear towards that right shoulder. And you're going to pass through these places. You might want to take a breath or two in some of them. Notice if you've started to hold your breath. So this neck stretching, shoulder stretching is really intense. If you would like to bring your right hand to the top of your head, just apply a little pressure. Be really gentle and mindful about that. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. If you're getting enough stretch without this, just stay where you're at. Breath smooth and steady. And then you can use your hand to upright your head. Good, and then we go to the other side. So start to tuck your chin towards your chest. This should feel easier already. It's getting lots of length in the back of the neck. And nice and slow, keeping that chin tucked, we begin to bring our left ear towards our left shoulder, being mindful to keep the shoulders releasing down. They like to grip. We don't even realize what's happening sometimes, which is why our yoga practice is so beautiful. It really teaches us to notice these things that we're doing. And that happens on a couple levels. It happens in the physical shape. It starts to happen in that mental plane too, though. We become more aware of repetitive thoughts that we might have. How is this side different in your body? Getting curious about that. And then if you would like to apply some gentle pressure with your left hand, and it feels okay on this side to do so, you're welcome to. And then you can use your hand to help upright your neck. And then just one more little shoulder thing here. So let's scrunch the shoulders up to the ears. Let it go. So lots of tension, and then release it all. A couple more. Good, and then releasing there. So I'd like to do play with our warrior two a little bit. It's been a while since we've done that. So we're gonna get a nice little hip opener. So a couple variations here. We're gonna start by opening up that right thigh. Any amount, so it doesn't have to be very far at all. You could literally just kind of bring that foot over an inch or two, depending upon what's happening in your body. If you're a little more flexible in the hips, you can bring the foot out a little wider. And we do want to just check to see that knee is approximately over ankle. That doesn't have to be perfect. And then with this left leg, we have a couple of options here as well. So you might just extend that leg to straight. You might be able to open that leg up a little bit. You're rolling to the inner edge of your foot if you're doing that. So just to give you a visual of warrior two, I'm heel to arch in this pose. Arms come up. So I'm really pressing this right leg back, but this left hip is releasing down a lot. So the hips aren't on the same plane. Torso is facing forward. And then we gaze out over our fingertips. So we are approximating that in our body here. So the important part though is to feel really stable and grounded and rooted where you're at. So again, there's so many different variations. So you just kind of play with where you feel good and secure here. And then just energetically, just imagine that there's roots in your feet pulling you into the earth. So even if the sensation isn't actually there in your body, that's okay. Visualize what that's like. It's that feeling that we get when we're in our mountain pose. And then we're going to inhale, stretch our arms out. And the tendency sometimes is to lift the arms a little high. So we want wrists perpendicular to shoulders. And then really activate the arms here. So you feel this inner arm begin to wrap towards your outer arm. Keep your torso facing forward, but start to bring your gaze out over your right fingertips. So that's that drishti. Gaze is soft and easy. And it's almost like you're not even focusing, which has this really calming effect on the mind. That breath is smooth and steady. Again, you might be doing that Ujjayi breath. And then we're going to find our little lateral stretch here. So left arm releases down, right arm comes up and over. This hand again just might even be on this hip, but we're looking to spin these left ribs up towards the ceiling as we come into this reverse warrior pose. Good, and you can play with your gaze. You might look up underneath that top arm. Nice, Jean, nice, Tammy. Beautiful work, Scott. Nice, Amy, both Amy's. Good. Root down into your sit bones. As you inhale, come back up to your warrior two. And we're going to take this into our extended side angle pose. So you're going to start to hinge forward at that right hip. It's like your little teapot. And then we're going to bring our elbow down to that front leg. And we're going to take this top arm up and over. And again, you might look more like this. So now we start to wrap these right ribs up towards the ceiling. So just exploring these subtle little twists in the trunk that happen in these poses. Maybe you begin to bring your gaze up. And if that's not working for you, simply keep your gaze forward. You might even be looking down. Energetically root into your feet, root into your sit bones. Use your belly, your core to help you come back up into that warrior two. The arms are screaming, I know. As we exhale, we release down and we just take a couple of breaths there. Good, and then we're gonna come to our second side. So you can bring And just find center. And this side might feel entirely different in your body. So check it out. Take your time setting this up. So maybe you just open up this left hip a little bit. Maybe you stay like this with your right leg. Maybe you extend the leg to straight. Maybe you can take it out any amount. So these are all really good options. And then just check to see that you do have that left knee approximately over your left ankle. Rooting into your sit bones, torso facing forward. So it does feel like you're wrapping those left ribs forward a little bit. All right. As we inhale, we stretch arms out. And again, use them a lot. Feel the muscle firm to bone. Feel those shoulder blades release down your back. Start to bring your gaze out over your left fingertips. The muscles around the eyes are soft. The face, the jaw, soft and relaxed. Maybe there's a subtle little smile, even though this is really hard. It's kind of fun to do hard things. Breath smooth and steady. That inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. Harness all of your warrior energy here. Good. And then we're going to reverse our warrior. So we start to lean to the right with our upper body, and then your top arm comes up and over. And again, it's that idea of spinning the eye of the elbow behind you. As you do that, you wrap these right ribs up, and then you find a place to gaze at that feels good. Breath is smooth and steady. Nice, Kelly. These all look wonderful. Okay, so find that sense of rootedness into your sit bones, into your feet as you inhale. Come back to your warrior two. Good. And then, like your little teapot, you hinge forward at that left hip. So already you're finding this length through the left side. Elbow down and then top arm up and over. We start to spin the opposite ribs up towards the ceiling. And feel your shoulder blades stacking on top of each other here. Gaze can be down, forward. Maybe you start to look up. So this really nice stretch through that right side. You're feeling all of that. Inhale up to your warrior two. Good. Exhale, release your arms down, and then just find your mountain pose again. So just coming back to center. Close your eyes for a moment. Just check in, notice how you're feeling. You might be feeling some heat in your body. Your breath might be moving a little faster. These are all really good things. And we're going to flow a little bit, and then we're going to revisit that warrior two, and we're going to add a little flow there too. But let's cleanse the palate here and just move into some of our half sun salutes. So as you exhale, release your arms by your side. And then let these feel really good. So we know these really well. As you inhale, you can reach arms out wide or you can stretch them forward. So kind of whatever feels best in your shoulder girdle. You might look up here, even press palms. And then as you exhale, you fold in. You can take your arms out wide if that feels good. Really let the back of your neck lengthen and go. Hopefully it's feeling a little easier. If you do have blocks, this is a great place on your inhale to press into your blocks, but you could also press into your shins or thighs. As you exhale, you fold back in. Inhale, press down to rise up, whatever that looks up. You just might be rolling up to straight. That's perfect. And then as you exhale, you can take your arms out wide, or you can bring them down the midline, and you can mix and match, play with both. Inhaling, reaching. Utthita Hastasana into Dasana, extended mountain pose. As we exhale, we fold into our Uttanasana, which is a deep forward fold. Inhale into Ardha Uttanasana. Ardha means half, so this is our half forward fold. Back into your full forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, root down to rise up. Utthita Hastasana into Dasana, extended mountain. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Samastiti, even standing. Couple more. Reaching up. Exhaling, folding in. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Anchoring down to find that lift, that lightness. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. 2 more on your own. I'm not going to cue you. We're going to move with our breath. There's no rush. If you feel steady closing your eyes here, sometimes that can feel really nice. It just helps you to get inside the pose. Observe if there are places in your body where you're holding tension and gripping that you don't need to. Can you soften in those spots? Mostly just really enjoy these. Enjoy this movement. I read this quote from Martha Graham a week or 2 ago. She basically said, the body is a temple. So how do you move if you think of your body as a temple? Really beautiful work. Just take a moment here. Check in. All right, and then we're going to come back to that warrior 2 on the first side. We're not going to hold quite as long this time. You'll be happy to hear. We're just going to connect those poses that we did and move with the breath. So again, whatever variation feels good to you, you can keep this left knee bent. Leg can come out straight. You can open up a little bit if that feels all right in your body. As we inhale, arms reach up. Good, just bring your gaze out over those right fingertips. Full exhale, root down into your sit bones. Inhale, reverse. Good. As you exhale, make your way into your extended side angle. Inhale up to your warrior 2. Exhale, root in. And then inhale, reverse. Good. Use that exhale to find your extended side angle pose. These look amazing. Inhale up, warrior 2. Take that exhale to ground in. 1 more. Inhaling, reversing. Good. Exhale. Stretch and lengthen through that right side as you come into your extended side angle pose. Inhale up here, and let's add one little thing on here. So go ahead and bring your gaze forward. We're going to give ourselves a little hug. We're going to take our right arm on top. Good. So Garudasana and Virabhadrasana, eagle pose arms. You might stay here like this, gently lifting your elbows up. You might play with bringing the backs of your hands to press in towards each other. That idea of elbows lifting still applies. Few of us might be able to reach around and lift palms. And then maybe start to bring your gaze up. Good. Gaze comes forward. Go ahead and stretch the arms out. Deep inhale. And then exhale, release. And then nice and slow, we just start to make our way to that second side. So finding that hip opening in the left leg, right knee can be bent, extended forward. You can open up that hip a little bit. They're all good. We're kind of trying to twist those left ribs to face forward. It's not going to be perfect. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, bring your gaze out over your left fingertips. And then we start to find our flow here. So as you inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, you make your way into your side angle pose. Inhale up, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, ground in. Inhale, top arm comes up and over. Find that reverse. Exhale into your extended side angle pose. Good, just enjoying this movement, this fluidity in your body. Inhaling up, exhaling, grounding in. Good, one more. Inhale up and over into your reverse warrior. As you exhale, you make your way into your extended side angle pose. Good, inhale, warrior 2. Good, so gaze comes forward, give yourself a hug, left arm on top. Elbows lift. Good, you could just be here like this. This can be a really nice intense shoulder stretch. Maybe backs of the hands start to press. Maybe you can reach around a little further. Start to lift the elbows and then maybe bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. That might intensify the stretch. Tops of the shoulders, the neck a little bit. Good, and then bring your gaze forward. Inhale, stretch arms out. And then as you exhale, release arms down. Start to make your way back to just that seated mountain pose. Close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths. Check in. Notice how you're feeling. All right, so I would like to come into a little twisted forward fold. So I'm gonna have you take your feet just a little bit wider. And you might find that you want a block here. If you do have one, you can just place that kind of to the center here, and I'll give you another variation. So as we exhale, we're gonna start to fold in. You're gonna root down into your left palm. And then you're gonna start to spin those ribs open towards the ceiling. So we've been here in our body, albeit in a different configuration today. So you're melting that right shoulder head back. You could just stay here like this. A few of us might play with lifting that top arm up. And then maybe you begin to bring your gaze up to that right thumb. If it feels okay in your neck to do so. Breath smooth and steady. Really try to find expansion on your inhale. It's a little trickier on these in these twists when everything is contracted in. These all look wonderful. Couple more good breaths. As you exhale, can you twist into that empty space a little more? Oh, I didn't say come down. Simon says. Deep inhale. And then exhale this time, unwind. Good work. And then we're gonna go to the opposite side. So you're gonna root your right palm into that block underneath your nose. Or you could, I don't think I said that on the other side. If that's not happening, you can just have that hand resting on your right thigh or left thigh. But just finding that twist, so right ribs wrap up towards the ceiling. You can keep your left hand on your hip if that feels better. If it is available, you start to extend left fingertips up, and then maybe you're taking your gaze along for the ride if it feels okay in your neck, especially as we've started to warm up here. These twists are so wonderful for the spine. They keep it healthy. These twists are also really good for the organs of digestion and elimination. Kind of give everything a nice ring out. Good. Couple more breaths here. And again, as you're exhaling, as you're emptying out, can you twist in? It just might be a thought more, but move in that direction. Deep inhale. And then as you exhale, you unwind. And then let's come into a little forward fold. So just hanging forward over your thighs, and you can keep the legs wide like that if you wanted to bring them a little closer to more classic Uttanasana. Both are good. Let the back of the neck go. And then just begin to roll on up to seated. And let's play with one more twist here before Sam joins us and we chill out. So we've been playing a lot with our twisted crescent pose today, and it seems like everybody is really enjoying that. So I'm going to invite you to do that. Or if you just want to keep legs together, that will be more like a twisted Utkatasana. So quick visual on that. So let's see if I'm in frame here. So Utkatasana, knees are bent, arms are reaching up, and then we find the twist. So we've got that in our bodies in the chair. And then of course our twisted crescent pose. So kind of the same thing, except for that you have that leg, back leg is straight, and then also hinging forward, twisting in, big balance poses. You can see I just about fell out. So your option today, they're both good. They're both doing exactly the same things. It just might feel a little different. So you can just stay here in this chair pose, both knees bent. If you did want to do that crescent pose, you can just extend that left leg to straight. Inhale, find lots of, actually, let's all take our arms up just to find that length. Good. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. And you could even just be holding elbows here. If you had a strap, you could be squeezing out into the strap. Good, deep inhale again, find length. And then as you exhale, start to hinge forward a little bit. Begin to twist to the right. So this might be all the further you go. If you feel steady and grounded and you can bring that left elbow to the outside of that right thigh, you're welcome to do that. Good, and then maybe again, you start to shift your gaze, potentially looking out over that right shoulder. Nice, Scott. Breath smooth and steady. Nice, Kelly. Good. As you exhale, you start to unwind and then just take a little forward fold again. So if you have that left leg extended, this is going to look like a humble warrior. Otherwise, you're just taking that nice forward fold over both legs. Let the back of your neck lengthen and go. Inhale, slowly start to roll on up, and we're going to take that second side. So if your left leg is extended, bring it back in. And then if you wanted to take that crescent variation, you're going to extend the right leg. All right, or you have both knees bent, both good options. Inhale, arms reach up. Good. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. And you could be holding elbows, whatever works. Nice deep inhale, find length. Exhale, start to twist and hinge forward. You just might stay here like this. If you can bring that elbow to the outside of your left thigh, continue to press palms towards heart center, and then maybe start to play with your gaze. Breath smooth and steady. Focus on that inhale as much as possible. And then as we exhale, we unwind. So a little forward fold, so you can keep that leg extended if you want. It's a nice little hamstring stretch. It can be quite intense, or you can have both knees bent. And then slowly start to roll on out. Bring that right leg back to your mountain pose if you had it extended. And we have Sam here. It looks like he's ready to go. So I invite you to find a place to end class. We're gonna have this nice long Shavasana. So that might look seated for you. If you have like a desk or a table near, kind of finding this modified child's pose might feel really nice, just resting your forehead on something. If it is available to you to actually get onto the floor and do a classic Shavasana, you're welcome to do that. So you all know what you need and what feels good in your body. So go ahead and do that. And then let's see, Amy, we're gonna have you unmute. All right, and enjoy Sam. This is a treat. We'll take a deeper inhale. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then just start to bring some gentle movement back to your body. So wiggle, stretch. Start to bring your awareness back to your body. And then pile your palms on top of your heart, sending yourself love and gratitude, sending your body love and gratitude especially. It's so fortunate to be able to work like this together, to move like this, to explore. And just promise yourself that you're going to carry some of this feeling that you've created with you into the rest of the day, the rest of the week ahead. And if you lose this feeling, we all will eventually. Maybe just make the commitment that you're going to pause and you're going to check in with your breath. Get quiet. Really beautiful work today, yogis. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you, Sam. That was beautiful. That was my favorite time yet.
Thank you.